Hi all, welcome to John's Model Making. Today I've got the Lancaster Bomber. There we go, playing catch up. I know you've all done it. All we've got to do with this one is to put the nacelles onto the engine. There we go. There's the engine. That's all glued in place now and it works perfectly good. I've tested it already today and yeah, it's looking fantastic. And then, there we go. There is that engine with the undercarriage. Looking superb. That works perfectly well. We're going to pop these onto the port wing frame as well as complete a propeller. There we go, brilliant. So let's have a quick look at stage 75. Okay, doke, stage 75, yes, port engine nacelle. Only one half of it, of course. Port outboard engine nacelle, flame damper shroud, radiator control shutter, carburetor intake. There we go. Put that piece on. You can get that the wrong way around, as you may already know. There's the shutter, and that is it. But in the magazine, some cracking articles. The Yonkers JU 87. Yeah, didn't do anything in the Battle of Britain because it was too slow. And then we have the V1 and the V2 rockets. Deadly. Bomber Command feature films. Richard Todd. Yeah, in many ways the definitive British War movie hero. Todd himself fought in the Parachute Regiment during World War II, as we all knew. And your next set of parts, there we go. Nacelle for the port outboard engine, flame damper shroud, carburetor intake, end panel for nacelle, oil cooler intake, and 2 pan head screws for plastic. Excellent. Those are the parts. Let's get on with the build. Okay, let's get the parts out. There we go, those are the parts. So that is the nacelle on one side of it. Now we need this piece, 75B, and that will fit just there. Like so. There we go. Get in. Excellent. That's looking cool. Now we need 75C, which is this piece, and that will go just onto here, if I can get it on. Oh, you go on for me. There we go, finally. There we go. That's the shutter control. That little piece will fit next. Excellent. There we go. So that's stage 75 complete. Next we have stage 76, fitting the nacelles. So nacelle for port outboard engine starboard side, then the flame damper shroud, carburetor intake, end panel for carolling, oil cooler intake, and BP screws 2 off. There we go. So we'll put these pieces into place and then we can put the engine together. We can test it again, obviously. There we go. Screw it together and pop in. There we go, 75D, which is that little piece that we need at the end there. And then we've got the 76E is the oil cooler intake, and that's what we're left with. Looking cool. And then in the magazine, ME746 Roger Squared, another excellent read, and then Robert Ritter von Grimm or Grimm. What we've got here, we've got an ME262. Yeah, cool. And your next set of parts: propeller blades, front and back plates, spinner, shaft rings, shaft cogs, central cog, propeller dome, assembly blocks and screws. But those are our parts, so let's get on with the build. Okay, get the parts out. Okay, those are the parts. Right, so we need 76B, which is this little piece, the damper shroud, 4 pegs, 4 holes. Should find its way home. That is going to be awkward. I know it is. There we go, that's gone in this side. So there's it. There we go. Was a little bit tricky, but it's gone in place. Right, 76C we need next. Into here, one peg is bigger than the other. But again, just push fit connection just like that. Excellent. Right, pop them to one side because now we need the engine, and that will go there like so. Get this cable out of the way, pop that over the top. Look at that. Hopefully this is going to go perfect. And then we need 75A. Here we can see where they line up. That should, let's see, get them exhaust ports in the right place. There we go. It's just a lot of squeezing it together. I knew that shutter would be awkward. Let's see, let get that lined up. Just need me magnifying glasses. Okay, doke. That should be lined up. Squeeze this all together. Gosh, it's tight. I remember the last one was being tight though. There we go, you can hear it crunching together. There we go. And this little piece. Oh, I thought that was in. Come on, awkward. Just give me a sec. Okay, it's not fully gone together yet, but I'm going to pop the screw in to see if this can draw the two together, which it should do. And it has done. Yeah, that control shutter was a little bit tight. I didn't want to take it all apart again just for that, but yeah, that's perfectly good. Excellent stuff. Right, what do we need next? We need this little piece, 75D. Again, one peg is bigger than the other. Bigger peg at the back. That will pop into there. There we go, nice tight fit. And then we want 76E. There we go. This is the oil cooler intake. And oops, there's it. That will go like that. See, that's fitted perfect. Look at that. Coolio. Excellent. Okay, this end panel 76D should fit into here. I think one hole is actually there we go, a little bit too small. See, one side has gone in alright, the other side doesn't want to snap into place. Let's try this side first, if it will for me. There we go, it's gone in. There we go. Yeah, get the awkward end side in first. Excellent, there we go. Right, let's give this a test. There we go, that seems to be fine. That control shutter was tight, yeah, but it's all in place. And them shrouds, oil cooler intake front and the end panel looking cool. Brilliant stuff. Right, let's move on to the next stage, stage 77. Okay, doke, stage 77, port outboard engine propeller. Excellent. We've done all this before. Yeah, so just quickly run through the instructions. There's nothing different. There's no additional parts. Everything exactly the same as the other three propellers. So in the magazine we have the Douglas Boston. Now I haven't read this one, but I'm sure it will be a fantastic read. And then coming in issue 78, port wing frame circuit board, in brackets lights and assorted screws. Excellent. There are the parts. Let's get on with the build. Okay, let's get the parts out. So there we go. Those are all our parts. Now, the thing about these propellers is a little tab there, so you must make sure you get that in the right place. Now we need to pop on 77E, which goes like that, and the ridge that you can see around it is more this way. Oh, like that. And then we need 77F onto the end, push that on. Should push right on that. There we go. Excellent. And then we can put it in the block. And we need it in the block like that with that tab facing up. There we go. Do that with the other two now. Look it up. There we go. That's all three propeller blades as they should be. Right, now we need 77B and 77G. 77G goes in the middle just there like so, and then it's just a matter of lining up the blades. Make sure that tab is facing up, of course, and pop them all into place. There we go, just like that. Excellent. There we go, there's a nice close-up for you. Next we need 77C, which goes over the top like so, and we need to keep that in place with an AP screw. There we go. There's a tight fit like everything on this build, and one AP screw down the middle. Just make sure there's no gaps, which there aren't. Excellent. And then we need 77D, which fits just there like so. Then we need the spinner. 77H fits over the top. Flip that around, and there we need 3 AM screws. Okay, 3 AM screws. There we go. Excellent. Right, let's see if we've got any paint loss. No, that's fine. That should move. It should does. There's not a great lot of movement there, to be honest, but they do move. There we are. That's better. That one works pretty well actually, compared to them two. That one's not three bad. That one moves really well. I'll have to take this apart, have a quick look. Well, there we go. That's all three blades all rotating as well, moving as they should do. Actually, one moves, they all move. Excellent stuff. There you go. You can see it. Brilliant. Basically, I just tightened the AP screw up on the inside and put some oil on that cog, and it's working perfect now. Excellent. Right, let's move on to stage 78. Okay, now we have stage 78. We have the port wing frame. So the port wing frame, circuit board with lights, FM and BP screws. So basically we're just popping the engines in place. There we go. And then we'll do a bit of cable tidy as well. And then we can pop those lights on. Excellent. Yeah, okay, run the cables that way. Completed work. The inboard and outboard engines and the lighting circuit board have been fixed to the frame. Brilliant. Yeah, and in the magazine we have fighter escorts, proved essential to both Allied and Luftwaffe missions, for without them bombers were extremely vulnerable to enemy aircraft. That'll be an excellent read. And then your next set of parts: port wing frame, support spars, cable covers, navigation light, formation light and screws. Excellent stuff. That's coming in issue 79. There we go. Excellent. Right, they're the parts. Let's get on with the build. Okay, let's get the parts out. Okay, there we go. There's the wing frame. We need the BP screws for this because we're going to pop this engine with the landing gear into place. I think that goes just like that. There we go. Alright, the doors will sort themselves out in a minute. We need 4 BP screws. Okay, we need 4 BP screws, 2 at the back, 2 at the front. There we go. Sort them doors out in a minute. See, they do open and close perfectly alright. Just look a bit messy at the moment, but there we go. There's the landing gear in place. Excellent stuff. Right, now we need the other engine to it. Oh no, we don't. We need 6 more BP screws along the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Excellent, there we go. That's that engine in place. We'll test that later. Okay, so now we need to fit this engine onto here. Those 4 grey holes there we need to screw in first, and they go into here, here, here and here. Make sure the cable is at the front there, and let's see if we can squeeze this into place. I don't think this is going to be... Oh, that's a snug fit, that is. There we go. That's gone in nice and bonnet. So we need 4 BP screws. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, that's a really tight fit. Fit them 2 in first. I think the top ones here, here, here. You have to fit that front part in first. And then you have to squeeze the back end over to get these 2 into place. It was so difficult. Very fiddly. Didn't seem to be like that at first, but as soon as I get the screws out, yeah, that's what happens. There we go, that's them 4 screws in place. Excellent. Oh, we need 3 more. 1, 2, 3. These were the difficult ones. Put in these green sockets for some reason. But everything in this build is a tight fit. There we go. Excellent. That's the 2 engines in place. Looking pretty cool. That looks great. We'll test them shortly. Right, we need the lights. Before I pop these lights into place, I'll dress these cables. I think that one comes through here and here and into the... Right, I'll dress these cables and show you in a sec. Okay, well, that's the best we can do at the moment. This one is flailing around a little bit, but I'll leave it there for now. There's not a great lot of room in there. Hopefully I'll be able to trap that later with a bit of tape, but I need to test it anyway. But there we go, that's the cabling along here, all the way around here, and from the motor to there, that is the landing gear. Excellent. Now we can pop the lights in place. So these are the lights. Right, yep, just goes into there like that. A couple of BP screws. Need to make sure the cable, we dress the cable along here as well, and all the way around. It's got to be really tight. Okay, don't hold that in place. Pop in a couple of BP screws. Right, now I need to train this cable all the way along. I think we do get something for these. Let's keep these in place. We'll get some clamps, but it will basically go in the same direction as these other leads, all the way around to here and come out there. Now, I'm going to leave it like that because I'm sure we'll get some clamps for that. I'd be surprised if we didn't. There we go. Let's see if we can test the lights. Okay, don't flip that over. There we go. At least we know the lights are working. Brilliant. Okay, let's check. I think this is the undercarriage. Oh, the doors are stuck for some reason. Yeah, that one. The lip. There we go. Get that right. There we go. I don't think it closes all that brilliantly. There we go. No, it doesn't. But we'll see if they come up with a mod for that. Try the engines now. There we go. Brilliant, that one's working fine. Okay, well, let's try this one. Oops, switch it on. Let's try this one. What's this one? Excellent. So we know everything is working hunky-dory. Brilliant stuff. So there we go. That is stages 75 to 78 complete. Well, there we go, folks. We have 75 to 78. Brilliant. Yeah, that door, well, we know the doors aren't perfect whatsoever, to be honest, but it opens and shuts The springs aren't that brilliant. I think the other side, the starboard side, is much better than this side. That's going to get caught under there. Yeah, but once it's in place, I'm sure it'll be fine. Hopefully they'll come up with a fix for it soon. But you've seen the lights working, both engines work, and the landing gear works, as long as the door doesn't get in the way. Yeah, one of them springs is alright, the other one's just far too flimsy. Yeah, but anyway, we'll see how we get on. Brilliant. Now I know the next 4, it might be 6 stages are actually on the website, so you can have a look at what's up and coming. We've seen what's coming next. Not a great lot of fun though, but I do know we'll start with the base. I think on stage 82. So next one will be 79, 80, 81, 82. Yeah, get a couple of sections of the base. Then there's no mention of the base for 83 and 84. So, but then again, I think there's only 130 issues altogether. So it should finish, what is it, June next year, something like that. But yeah, I'm just glad the actual engines work. And going back to this piece here, this nacelle, this engine, that was a bit of a toughie to get in place. And then when I put it down, I picked it back up, I couldn't put it back in straight away for some weird reason. But it's gone in now anyway, and it's all screwed down nicely. And the propeller is perfect as well now. Yeah, that is operating as it should be. I think basically I just didn't screw that sensor screw in far enough. But I put some oil inside anyway, and I checked all the connections, made sure everything was right, and everything was. So yeah, one turns at the old turn. Brilliant. Anyway, there we go. So that is it for the Lancaster Bomber this month. Thank you for tuning in and watching. Stay safe, and hopefully I'll see you next month. Probably be a bit earlier actually. Anyway, bye for now.